Now, today's topic is about scheduling time for that organizing project. We'll also cover what can happen if you don't block off time, discover the real issue or the fear behind scheduling time for a project, and finally, you'll also discover the number one thing that's preventing us from successfully completing that project in time.
Parenthood is challenging enough as it is, and getting organized sounds easier said than done. Now, combine these two together, and it's truly a balancing act that many of us struggle with day in, day out. If you're here, it's because you want to know how to get your life and home more organized and structured where the kids are involved too, so that parent life is a little easier and you can focus on what truly matters. Hey there, I'm Dianne Jimenez, owner and founder of One Tidy Place. I created this podcast because I know parents have their hands full. I know this because I have 3 kids of my own. Each week, we'll talk about all things organizing, teaching kids life skills, and contributing to the home, being on the same page with your partner, and raising your kids together while you tidy up, go out for a walk, or just need some real talk. I'm here for you. Thank you for tuning in. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Organized-ish Parent Podcast, and you're listening to episode number 74. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started. All right, so where did this topic come from? Well, for those of you who don't know, I have a free private group called the Time Freedom for Mompreneurs Facebook group. And in there, before you request to join, there is a question where I ask, what is your main struggle when it comes to getting your home organized, getting the kids to help out, or finding a solution or system for getting organized and saving time? So this member had put in scheduling. Now, because I'm a professional organizer and there's projects that need to get done, I put it in the twist of scheduling an organizing project. All right. So that's what this episode is about. How do we schedule time for an organizing project? So before we get into that, what happens if we don't block off time to schedule your project? Well, there's a lot of things that can happen, but the main thing is stress. And what do I mean? Well, here you have this room, for instance, an attic or a space that has been on your mind for some time now. And if you don't block off time for it, well, you're going to have a reminder about it every time you pass that room. Or someone's going to remind you about it that, hey, they can't find this or that. Or, hey, people are coming over. We got to always close that door so that nobody sees it. Or that you and your family are constantly late because there's stuff in that room that you need to get to, but you're not sure if it's there or if it's upstairs or downstairs or whatever, and it's going to take forever to go through that space. You know what I mean? So that place, that space is always going to be a reminder that this needs to get done. And if you don't put time aside, it's just going to be taking up mental real estate in your brain for months and months and months. Even though you're not thinking about it, the folder is in the back of your mind telling you got to do this project. If you heard a noise just before, someone was trying to get in, and the other kid was ushering them to get out because they know I'm recording. All right, so now that we got that cleared up, what is the real issue behind delaying the blocking off time? Well, a lot of people will push this project aside because they're not sure if they can finish the whole project in one go or within a given time frame. The truth is, we never know how long a project can take because there's so many factors in there that prevent us from progressing or going faster. And I'm going to list them for you today. So if we have a lot of fear of not finishing the project on time, there's one thing that we can do, and that's number 1, be aware. So what do I mean by being aware? Well, did you know that the number 1 thing that's stopping us from progressing or doing things faster? It's distraction. Yep. They are distractions from our phone, from social media, from our family, from noise, from food, from anything really. So it's important that you are aware of what those distractions are for you. It's different for many people, but you know what your distractions are. And from that, there are distractions that we can control and the distractions that we cannot control at all. So list them out what they are. So now that we are aware of what those distractions are, what do we do? How do we prepare for it? Well, for the things that we have control over, like for instance, if food or snacks is a distraction, well, before you start your organizing project, make sure you're well fed and that you're good to go. If, for instance, the kids are home, like mine are, they're home for the summer and they make a lot of noise and they argue, and I hear them all the time. One way to keep them away from you and stopping them from distracting you is to make sure that they're busy, you know, pop in a movie or go play at the park for a couple of hours while I handle this organizing project. Now, what do we do when there's the unforeseen distraction? For instance, if you're an Amazon Prime member or you have a Temu account and you forgot you placed an order and here is the guy ringing your buzzer, well, distraction. So my thing for that is to take care of it as quickly as possible and get back to work. Because the last thing we need to do is, hey, what is this? And look at that, look at that. That can happen. So just if you can, schedule your deliveries for another time during that day or another day completely. All right. So the next method for reducing the fear of not having enough time to complete the project, and that is place yourself in a position to make decisions a lot faster. So what do I mean? Well, if you have a lot of things in front of you that you have to make decisions for, a lot of times, you know, these are repetitive decisions. So decluttering before an organizing project is always a good idea. The next thing is having a good sorting system is important too. Now, if you're not really, this is not your thing and you need help with this, well, I would suggest hire a professional organizer. Or if you're more hands-on and you want to do it yourself, but you just need guidance, well, that's where a coach comes in. And I think you know who I'm talking about. All right, let's move on. To also help you make decisions faster, a lot of times when you are tackling a project, some of the things or a lot of things, it's not up to you to make the decision because these items belongs to someone else. So it's important to have the people who know the information about these items readily available and fully accessible on a drop of a dime. Not necessarily them being in the same room as you, but if you can text them quickly and they're good to respond quickly back, that is good enough. So to prepare for this is to make sure that that person is not in a meeting or they're not away or at the park or something. All right. So the third thing to keep us in a good position for making sure we finish on time, and that is to block the appropriate amount of time for the project. Now, I know this whole episode is about having the fear that we didn't block enough time for it. So what I mean about blocking the appropriate time, it means be real. Now, if you are going to organize, let's say, an attic or a garage or a room that you haven't really touched in a really, really long time, and you're not quite sure what's really in there, and there's stuff that, it's not just you making the decisions, but it's going to take several people to help you make the decisions for these things. Don't think that this is going to be done in 2 hours or one afternoon. It might take a lot longer than that, and it might take more sessions than one. So be real about your blocked time, okay? So now that we're talking about blocking time, for sure, I also mean put it in your calendar. And you know what else I'm going to add to that is share your calendar with your spouse and your family so that they know and they're aware that this evening or this afternoon is blocked off for this project. Because the last thing you want to do is start your project, be well into it, and then your family is telling you, hey, you forgot? We're going to a picnic the next day when we need to get this and this and this, and I need to get that stuff in the attic and this stuff in the garage and blah, blah, blah. So that's completely throw you off track and obviously not be so fun, right? So the final method of reducing the fear of not having enough time for our project, and that is, like I said, let everyone know that this is what you're doing. Now, the reason for that is not only to let people know that you're busy, but the second thing is maybe there are going to be helpers that can come in and help you, hence speed up the time spent on the project, right? Now, there's a caveat to this. If the helpers are just going to distract you or just waste too much time, well, just let them know and tell them to stay away. All right, so that's it. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? When you want to schedule an organizing project, the real reason why people put it to the back burner or just keep pushing it down for weeks and weeks and weeks is that they have a fear that they're not sure if they can finish the whole thing in the allotted time that they had put down. So, the first thing is you want to be aware of your distractions, make a list of them, and prepare yourself for those distractions. Keep the phone in another room if that's a distraction. Make sure the kids are with your in laws if they are distracting you, okay? The second thing is to be in the best position to make quick decisions. And that means to have a good organizing system and things that your things are already decluttered. So, decluttering beforehand is a great strategy. Having the people who know the information of the items in the room available and quickly accessible. And if you need help, hire a pro or get a coach to guide you through the whole thing. Then the next thing is to block time, real time, and share it with your family so that there's no surprises on anybody's side. And the last and final thing is once they all know, ask for help or let them know to stay away if they're just going to cause more problems than not. All right. So, as I mentioned earlier, I do have a private Facebook group. It's totally free to get in. It's called the Time Freedom for Mompreneurs. And in there is stuff that we talk about here. Like, for instance, I did a Facebook Live of this specific topic in the group because someone asked the question. So, if you're in the group and you have questions about organizing, getting the kids to help out, or what kind of systems you can use to help you save time, well, that's the group you want to be in. So I'll link it in the show notes, and I hope to see you on the inside. And that's it for me. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.